Cash is bad. Cash is bad.
The technology is just starting to take off and more people are embracing it. As the technology has shrunk from mainframes to desktops to laptops to phones to implants.
Crazy, isn't it? But it will be what we all do someday. Crazy, isn't it? But it will be what we all do someday.
I used to tell people years ago that we're going to have a cashless society. I used to pass out flyers, brochures, little cards. I've passed out thousands of them on people's cars, and I used to warn people that this day was coming. This was back before people were commonly getting a microchip implant like they are today. And I had a discussion with one of my clients who was a Mason, very intelligent man, thought he was a genius, and he would just debate me and say that'll never happen, not in our lifetime. And I said, yeah, it is. The Bible said it's going to happen. We're the last generation. It's scientifically provable in the scriptures. And if you look around the world events, we can prove to you that we're in the last generation. And he said, it'll never happen in our generation. I just am flabbergasted at how fast we're coming to that very moment. Do you remember the game Monopoly or the game Life? Some of you that are a little older, how we used to have cash, a lot of cash. I used to love playing that game because I would buy all the property and have loads of cash, and you could stack up your little cash, little $500 bills and $100 bills, and you'd have a stack of cash. Well, guess what? Well, I won't tell you. Look at this.
Monopoly has just announced money is no more in the Ultimate Banking Edition. Instead of paper money, which can easily be laundered or stolen when you aren't looking, this new edition uses debit cards. It also does away with the easily corrupted banker position, replacing the human with an electronic card reader, aka an ATM. But they have been training young, impressionable consumers to shun cash since the Monopoly Electronic Banking Edition was released in 2006. Remember the game of life? Its new electronic banking version also does away with cash and stores all your money on cash cards, training you to look at plastic cards as having a value, more brainwashing that cash is bad and cumbersome, and of course you can trust the banks to keep all your money safe.
Thousands of people all around the world already have a microchip implant in their body somewhere, either for medical purposes or security purposes for the corporate office or for government jobs, or for the simple fact of getting into a nightclub. There is about as many reasons to be microchipped as there are people.
Following the 2016 Davos Confab, a meeting of 62 people as wealthy as the 3.6 billion poorest half of the world's population, where a major theme was the future of automation as it replaces working humans. As more and more of the population leaves the workplace, economic growth enters a period of secular stagnation. Economist and potential future Federal Reserve Chairman Larry Summers is heralding these conditions as the perfect storm needed to transition to a cashless society. Paul Joseph Watson writes, Summers has called for the $100 bill to be phased out of circulation, becoming the latest prominent voice to advocate the elimination of cash. The Washington Post writes, Summers calls for a moratorium on printing new high-denomination notes in the name of stopping crime and corruption, a global agreement to stop issuing notes worth more than, say, $50 or $100. The inevitable mark of the beast system is fully underway. France introduced laws last year which restricted French citizens from making cash payments over €1,000. Italy, Russia, Spain, Mexico, and Uruguay have all introduced similar laws that ban cash payments over a certain amount. Earlier this week, the ECB Council voted to scrap the €500 bill, a decision that would reduce the amount of physical cash in circulation by around 30%, despite the fact that such a move would be negative for the currency, according to a Bank Bank of America analysis. Last month, Norway's biggest bank, DNB, called for eliminating cash to cut down on black market sales and crimes such as money laundering. In August of 2015, the Financial Times published an editorial which called for the abolition of cash altogether to make life easier for a government set on squeezing the informal economy out of existence.
We should move towards an international currency because the speculation and the complexity of currency has caused some of the irritation, not only among the trading nations, but among individuals.
At a secretive meeting in London last year, Kenneth Rogoff of Harvard University and William Buter, the chief economist at Citigroup, met with the top central bankers to discuss phasing out cash. Former Bank of England economist Jim Leavis penned an article for London Telegraph last April in which he said a cashless society would only be achieved by forcing everyone to spend only by electronic means from an account held at a government-run bank, which would be monitored or even directly controlled by the government. The ultra-powerful Bilderberg Group also discussed the agenda to ban cash during its 2015 confab in Austria, a conference attended by numerous prominent bankers. Basically, we are leaving the era of a strong global economy, brought to a screeching halt by the billionaires that reaped its benefits. Now that small elite plans to govern us all from their ivory tower, promising socialism as some kind of reward.
Keep Obama in president, you know? He gave us a phone.
Meanwhile, major banks are preparing for a bank holiday that could come at any moment as the final maelstrom begins between the cashless society of the corporatocracy running our kidnapped government versus the defenders of our dying federal republic. What is hidden shall be revealed. Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, recently had this to say, eliminating any doubt that we are aggressively ruled by nothing less than a global Luciferian elite.
And now they're faced with a very real prospect of Donald Trump becoming the leader of the party, and it absolutely drives them crazy. They just cannot imagine sharing. Well, because he's an outsider. He's not them. He's not part of the club. He's uncontrollable. He hasn't been through the initiation rites. He didn't belong to the secret society.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea. A new world order.
The New World Order is no longer hiding in the shadows. They are utilizing their total domination of civilization to bring your morality into a new dark age. Whether it's the United Nations David Rockefeller Lucius Trust rollout of demoralization, courtesy of Alice Bailey's 10-point plan, the purpose of which is to change Christian tradition or to redeem the nations of Christian tradition. Number 1, take God and prayer out of the education system. Number 2, reduce parental authority over the children. Number 3, destroy the Judeo-Christian family structure. Number 4, cause society to reevaluate sexual freedom and reduce the population by making abortion legal. Number 5, make divorce easy and legal. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. Number 6, promote homosexuality as an alternative lifestyle. Number 7, corrupt and defile the imagination by debasing art. Number 8, use media to brainwash the population. Number 9, promote a New Age movement to overshadow the Christian faith. Number 10, have governments make all of the previous points laws and have the church endorse these changes. These points were stated over 70 years ago and have metamorphosized into the civilization we know now in 2016. And it's all around you.